All right, welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're going to talk about something that's, one of the biggest expenses and worries for any Florida homeowner, your HVAC system. We're going to demystify how it works and, more importantly, how you can know when it's really time for a change. So let's start with this big question. Why does it feel like your AC is always running? I promise it's not just in your head. The climate here in Florida puts your system under a completely unique kind of stress. And really, understanding that is the absolute first step to taking control of your comfort and your bills. Okay, let's get into it. Section 1, Florida's HVAC Gauntlet. And I want you to think of it exactly like that, a gauntlet. Your HVAC is in a constant, year-round fight with the Florida climate, and it never, ever gets a break. Let's look at the specific threats it's up against. See, it's not just one single enemy. It's like a combined assault from all sides. You've got that corrosive salt air just eating away at your outdoor unit. You've got the extreme humidity, which forces your system to work overtime, literally pulling gallons of water out of the air every single day. Then you have the classic summer thunderstorms, which can cause power surges that just fry sensitive electronics. And even the ground itself is working against you. That shifting sandy soil can stress and crack your ductwork, leading to all kinds of air leaks. Now take a look at this number, 12 to 16. That's how many hours a day your AC is likely running during a typical Florida summer. This isn't a sprint, it's a daily marathon. And that constant, relentless operation is exactly why components wear out so much faster here than almost anywhere else. So when a system is under that much stress, it's going to start to show signs of strain. It starts sending out these little distress signals, these SOS calls. The key for you as a homeowner is learning how to read these signs before a small issue turns into a catastrophic and, let's be honest, a very expensive failure. Think of this table as your official HVAC problem decoder ring. For instance, you see water leaking near your indoor unit? That's probably a clogged drain, and if you ignore it, you could be looking at serious damage to your ceilings and walls. What if your rooms feel warm and you notice ice forming on the pipes outside? That's a huge red flag for a refrigerant leak. And if the outdoor unit just won't kick on at all, well, it might be a simple capacitor, but ignoring it could end up destroying your entire compressor, which is a much bigger deal. So you've spotted a problem, but now what? Now you're facing that big financial question. Do I repair this aging unit again? Or is it finally time to replace it? Well, thankfully, there's a really simple rule of thumb that can help you cut right through the confusion. It's called the $5,000 rule. And it is a surprisingly simple way to get a clear financial picture. All you have to do is take the age of your unit and multiply it by the repair quote you got. If that number is over $5,000, it's a very strong financial signal that replacing the whole system might be the smarter long-term move. Let's walk through a quick real-world example. Say your unit is 10 years old and the compressor fails. That's a big one. The repair quote comes in at $1,800. Okay, so you multiply 10 years by $1,800, and you get $18,000. That number is a huge data point, and it tells you a lot. And this is exactly the question that the rule helps you answer. When you get a number that high, you have to stop and ask yourself, am I really fixing the problem here, or am I just putting an incredibly expensive Band-Aid on a system that's probably just going to have another major failure right around the corner? Okay, so you've done the math, and now you're at the crossroads. This is the big one, the repair or replace dilemma. It really all comes down to weighing that short-term cost against the long-term savings and, honestly, your peace of mind. Let's just break down these trade-offs side by side. Repairing is super tempting, right? Because that upfront cost is lower. But replacing is where the real long-term value is hiding. You're getting a brand new warranty, a much more energy-efficient unit that's going to lower your monthly bills, and you might even qualify for some nice rebates and tax credits. And here's the last piece of context you absolutely need. That Florida gauntlet we talked about earlier, it shortens the lifespan of these units. Even a perfectly maintained system might only last you 12 to 15 years. If your unit's already in that age range, dropping a ton of money on a major repair becomes a much, much riskier investment. So with this framework, you're no longer just reacting to an emergency in the middle of a heat wave. You're an empowered owner, fully prepared to make the best possible call for your home, for your comfort, and for your wallet. So here it is, your final toolkit. 1. Know your enemy. Understand Florida's climate. 2. Read the signs your system is giving you. 3. Use that $5,000 rule as your financial guide. 4. Weigh the stakes of repairing versus replacing.
And finally, number 5, act with confidence, not in a panic.
So we'll leave you with this one last thought. In that constant, brutal battle against the Florida climate, your HVAC system is your home's undisputed champion. The real question is, are you giving it the support it actually needs to keep on winning that fight for you and your family?